So, from Lake Erie to the Ohio River, a little bit different this time. We're here at Edgewater Beach. I am going to go out to the water, put my front tire into, or my back tire into Lake Erie, and then pedal south until I reach the Ohio River. And I'll put my front tire into the Ohio River. The OTET, which is Ohio to Erie Trail, runs along a lot of the rivers that I've paddled between Lake Erie and the Ohio River and the connections that I've made there. So this will be the first one done with a bicycle, but it's going to be interesting. I think the total distance is 326 miles. And I'll be doing it over 4 or 5 days. Beautiful morning. Here is the water. Doo-doo-doo. Let's put the tire in it. Whoop. And away we go. All right, goodbye Lake Erie, and let's start the journey down to the Ohio River. Angie is riding with me for the first few hours, and I am not a biker by any means. I'm a kayaker. This is Angie's gig, but so many rivers I've done, seen this trail go right next to it. Figured I'd take the trail this time. You ready? All right. There it is, first sign. Didn't I take out from here one time? Take out the lake, come over to Windy Park. Lake Erie Birding Trail. I like that bridge over there. I remember paddling under that. What is it?
Very cool bridge.
Yeah. So this is the actual official start, I guess. Not the parking lot where I took the picture, but you should not be able to get to this point from the other point. So I'm told. But there's the route. So, coming out from the official start, we're going to go the first of the many rivers. The Crooked River, the Cuyahoga. Right there she is. Okay. Yeah, I guess there's a sign that says that, huh?
Yep.
Whee! So, what year did I finish the L2R East? Is that 20? I think it's 21. Came under this very bridge. Waiting for somebody to do something with it. So this is a cool little bridge right here. There's a lot of old historic bridges down here. That bridge right there is the one that raises up and down. That holds with masts and such. Can't get over them. Still, obviously, downtown. haven't really started to kick south very much yet. Now that was a pretty good climb up from the river level all the way up to the road level. Morning. That hill's probably going to be a lot easier going down. Whee! Man, dropping gears like a bad habit. Didn't have to walk it though, so first victory. Dropping gears like a bad habit. There it is. A little bit industrial. You can see the stadium off in the distance. That's where people go to suffer on Sundays. Once in a while they get a reprieve. So that was a nice steady climb for quite a while, but then a nice long downhill after that. Morning. I guess not. What park is this? Oh, a new dog park. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So this is Steelyard Commons, and you can stop here. Five Guys, Penn Station. Grab yourself a sub. Burger Death right there. Steak and Shake. All kinds of little shops and eateries. So about 7.5 miles in from the actual start point. Across the Cuyahoga River again. Now into what I usually see when I'm kayaking, which is a nice path running along the river with plenty of greenery and such. Still some industrial noise, but look down and see the river. It just makes everything better. Right or left? It was right. That's what I took. So, on left is the canal. Over on the right is the river. So this is the Cuyahoga. Got a little bit of flow to it going out to the lake. I wouldn't mind being paddling right now, but biking this stretch is going to be fun too. Especially the further south I get. What this bridge is. There's a sign at the top. Looks like a Metro Parks symbol. What does it say? Metro Parks. Right here is the 480 bridge. I've went under this in a kayak many a time. Never pedaled underneath it, I don't think, though. Have I ever biked this section with you? I didn't think so. So I am right at Rockside Road. And I was ready for yours truly. Angie turned around, she's going back to the van. I'm going to continue on down towards Massillon. But I took out at yours truly one time when I was kayaking. Pulled it up and then and something to eat. And all the biggest hills are out of the way now. I get to enjoy what I'm always jealous of, which is all the manicured trails that everybody gets to enjoy. While I'm paddling, but can't even find a place to lay my tired head for the night. Maybe I'll go over here and take a peek at the river. That's nice. Moving water makes everything better. But it reminds me of the Tuscaroras River right by Route 21. Tusk follows 21 for probably 3 miles or so. But just like with paddling, you gotta take the good with the bad. It all balances out. So here is the Canal Visitor Center. You got parking and restrooms over there. You got the actual visitor center itself. We've got one of the old locks here. It's a pretty cool experience. When I did the Muskingum River through paddle, I was able to kayak through a bunch of the locks. You go in one end, they shut the doors, let the water equalize, then open the other doors, and you go along your way. That little bit of road stretch, that Cuyahoga was right on the right-hand side of it, heading south. And every now and then, when the vegetation broke, beautiful section of river right through there. See, right there is my river. One of them. I love most all of them. So this has been, I guess it'd be crushed limestone, maybe. It's hard packed right now because we haven't had any rains recently. But it would be a much different much different ride if there was a lot of rains, because I could see tracks worn in here that people probably rode a couple days ago when we had a little bit of rain. But if there was a lot of rain, I bet you this stuff would, the tires would sink in pretty good. It would take a lot more effort to do the same mileage. I don't know how long it goes on, but it looks like there's a little bit of return to asphalt right here. Maybe it's just the glare from the sun. Oh, it's just the asphalt landing. Nope, not even. Yeah, it stays the limestone. There's that beautiful Cuyahoga. I've been running along the edge of it for a long time now. So nice. The sound of moving water. It's a beautiful thing. Now, I don't know what huge bridge this is up here that comes across, the Trestle Bridge. So here's the Cuyahoga again. Didn't recognize that bridge because I've never come at it from the other way, but that's the 82 bridge. Here is the train depot. And the parking lot. I have pulled my kayak out of this park many a time. Stop here, get rid of my last cup of coffee, and continue moseying south. So I just saw one of the signs for the mileage going out to the lake on the river. At a little bank that I stopped at quite often when I'm at it. It seems so interesting to be going the opposite direction, and now I'm coming down the mileage down to the river instead of out to the lake. Beautiful little corridor here. Morning. It's amazing. Half the people don't even know we're acknowledging you. Some of them have earbuds, so they can't hear you, so you don't bother saying anything. So here is Boston Mills, the Stanford House, Boston launch for kayaks and such, which I've never actually used that one. But I think I just passed lock 32, 33, I don't know what it was, but probably stop up at lock 29 at the Winking Lizard, or across the street from the Winking Lizard, and grab something to eat. I don't know what time it is. It is 11:04. How many miles have I done from the start? 24.2. That's cool. So here is where I was hoping to get something to eat. Lock 29. I'm going to go up a little bit further. That'd be Route 303. And there's a couple of eatery places over there. Winking Lizard, another one across from it. Might have been more that I'm unaware of. But this is my usual go-to launch when I only have a couple hours to paddle. Don't work too far from here, so I can get down here under a half hour, put in right here, pedal down to 82. Morning. Beautiful little setting. So I went up, and that bike path doesn't come over to the Winking Lizard. I thought I could get up on 303 and come over, but I couldn't. They just redid that whole retaining wall over there, which is good news. Tragic news, the bike shop burned down this winter. They're set up in the building that's right across from this parking lot over here. I don't know what the plans are going forward, but you can still rent bikes over at Eddie's bike shop, with everything bicycle related taken care of. They started putting kayaks back on the trains too. You can float your kayak down to 82, put it on the train, or vice versa. So now I have the beautiful kayak on my right. No, I'm sorry, my other right, on the left side. Probably a couple miles from Portage Path, maybe. Guessing. The water is so low. We haven't had much rain in quite a while. Very shallow. So this is actually in Akron, I believe. Nice path. I only had a real short stretch on the road. 37.7 miles and 4.5 hours. What did that say? Did that say 0? Was I supposed to go up there? No. You want me to go right or want me to go left? Thanks. That flows into the actual Cuyahoga River. When I came up from Akron, from Portage Lakes, I took the canals up into Akron, had a snake, and then put wheels under the kayak, did a couple mile portage over to the little Cuyahoga River, put into that took that out to the Cuyahoga on my way out to the lake. Some pieces of it are nice. Some, like any other river, any other trail, not so nice. But the good with the bad philosophy. So this is like the Canal History Museum. I forget what it's called. But this is exactly where I came to, yeah, I went through that parking lot over there. I went down to the Cuyahoga River because I pulled my kayak about 2 miles from where the canal ended, where it went underwater, or underground, at the Water Reclamation Center, over to this spot. So this is pretty cool. This is called Cascade Locks Park. And there's just a bunch of step downs for the canal, for the water levels. Some of it's still preserved. Rich Ohio history. Canalway was one of the things that inspired me to find a connection of water between Lake Erie and the Ohio River. A little portage over the Continental Divide, but climbed a little bit of a hill, long gradual hill, coming up from where the lock was. Uh-oh. Gotta go. No, kidding. So it was so crazy. When I took the canals up from Akron, I pulled the kayak out right here because the canals actually go underwater, or under the ground right there at the waterworks plant. I thought I'd recognize that parking lot. I put wheels on it and then rolled over to that canal house, whatever they call it, that museum. So this is the canal that comes up from Portage Lakes, where I started the Tuscarawas River. I don't know if the homeless person under the bridge showed up, but usually find some of them under bridges at water. Also don't know if the homeless looking strung out dude wearing a skirt showed up on the video or not, but passed him while I was recording this. I see all kinds of things. So I am passing Summit Lake right now, nicknamed the Comeback Lake. Oh, I know that is because I just saw it on a sign. But what I have to investigate. It's one of those fishing boats. So probably a good story behind that, from pollution to restoration, revitalization, water, purity, change, all that good stuff. Yeah, nice little place. Definitely put some money into it. So I think there's canals that connect Long Lake, Summit Lake. Quite a few lakes. And then Long Lake comes out, the canal continues south, and also the Tuscarawas River. I'm still following this canal along the towpath, but if you look right there, that auto auction place, that telephone pole at the top of it, there's 2 young osprey in it right now. It's pretty awesome. When you keep your eyes open, you can find stuff no matter where you're at. Hey, so this is Manchester Road right here. Coming up on your left. You can barely see under here, it's a little dark. Okay, so, yeah. What lake is over there? Yeah, this canal runs parallel to the Tuscarawas River, and right over there, Manchester Road. That's where I started the Tuscarawas River, because I wanted to do all of the river that I could from that outlet instead of taking the canal. The canal would have afforded me a lot less log jams, but I wanted to do it, see it all, the good, bad, and the ugly. Oh, the name of that lake over there don't bother me. Oh well. Like I said, it's a string of them that canals connect together. So right here is the canal, and right here on this side is the Tuscarawas Water Trail. The Muskegum I don't know what the legal entity would be, but the people who brought the Muskegum Water Trail into existence also helped the creation of the Tuscarawas Water Trail. What I would love to see is to get the Friends of the Crooked River together with the powers that be with the Tuscarawas River. A lot of different entities there. Have them join with the Muskegum River. Create the first legal route from the lake down to the Ohio River. Just like I'm doing on a bike, so much of this goes right along the rivers that I paddled. If we could just get some takeout points and some launches put in place, we would be able to create a waterway that could bring some wonderful experiences, just like the Ohio to Erie bike path does. Just a pipe dream I can't seem to let go of. Ain't that a beautiful thing? Tuscarawas River. One of my favorites. First free flowing river I ever kayaked on. Never spent the night on. Took it down to the Muskegum River. Oh, man. Very different view looking down onto the river instead of being on the river looking up to the trail that runs next to it. Bustling lots 2 and 3. That's what it used to look like. Now it's a little overgrown. Can't really see where the sandstone wings were. Should really take this camera off the bike instead of carrying the bike around, but I'm just too lazy. Little piece of history. So I just came over from the other side of the road. This is the Canal Fulton canoe livery. Last canoe ends 9/28. And St. Helena the Third canal boat is over here, crossing over the beautiful Tuscaroras right now. Once again, we got to go down and take a peek at a canal boat. There we go. St. Helena the Third. She's got all her canvas on her. Is the canal boat still running this time of year? One more? When's that? The 23rd? Yeah. I would like to do that. How far does it go down? Like 2 miles or 4 miles? Awesome. What? 1 mile. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Very good. 1 mile's better than no miles. So I got the Tusk on the right, canal on the left. They're a little over 64, close to 65 miles so far from that start point sign. And I think I got about 5 more to the hotel in Massillon, right by Erie's workshop. So this is the Hampton Inn in Massillon. Just a couple minutes off the trail. Went over to B-Dubs, got a grilled chicken romaine salad. Got the lights charging, the phone charging again, and getting ready to crash. 70-some miles today, and it's probably the easiest day because I have the hills of southern Ohio tomorrow. So this is it, leaving, what is this, the Hampton Inn, Massillon. Nice room, nice day. Breakfast was okay. Wasn't a continental breakfast. Wasn't a Drury Inn kind of breakfast either, but it was good. Making sure Dora is all locked up. And, turn the Rowdy app on and get pedaling. So this is now the Sippo Valley Trail. Still Route 1, Bike Path 1, whatever you want to call it, but no longer the canal trail. This is now the Sippo Valley Trail. Don't know what the detour was about. Been ready to find out, I guess. Huh. a little after 8 o'clock, probably. So this is that detour. They're tearing out the bridge. We just talked to some guy in the truck that was working here, said that we could go around this right side. Very steep, but doable. So that's what we're doing. He said that somebody tore down the barricade that we went past, the orange fencing. They said they took these other barricades, someone overnight, and threw them down here into the creek. So I don't know why people gotta be such jerks. Be careful, Ange. Yeah, definitely wouldn't recommend this route. I don't know how often this person is gonna say, yeah, go ahead and do this. Probably a little bit of a but interesting way to start the day. And you know what I was thinking yesterday when I was pedaling, when I had some hills and stuff? I was like, but you know what? I haven't had to jump one log jam yet. So, not a log jam, but a bridge detour. All right, back at it. Yeah, it just came down this morning. Gonna ride with me a while, turn around, go back later on. So Angie is gonna take the roads back to the hotel and grab the van, go down to Dalton, about 10 miles or so from here, so that she doesn't have to ride all the way back to the hotel. She's just gonna take the streets back to the hotel instead of trouble on the construction workers again at the detour. That's pretty cool of them though, to let us do that. Man, we're pretty pretty fortunate in Ohio to have such a beautiful thing. There's the OTET along all the waterways. Just imagine how nice it would be to have a kayaking route that did the same thing. Connected the top and the bottom of the state. A lot of natural sounds through here. Nice, peaceful little stretch. Good way to start the morning. That's a weird situation. The trail just takes a hairpin and kicks you over here by this recycling place. A little bit on the road, I guess, to get back to the trail. Odd little setup, I guess. But this is Dalton. I don't know, about 10 miles from the hotel in Massillon. So this is the street the reclamation center is on. You just go past a couple streets, and there's Dora right down there. The Village Green Park. So we got to do a little road way back to the trail. This is a quanky setup, like the disconnection. Swinging that hairpin up there. It's like that hairpin right by the reclamation center. Oh man, I smell a breakfast sandwich. So I think we're gonna go up here, a few streets, hang a right, get back on the trail. So there is a little sign right there that has a number 1 bike path sign, an arrow pointing this way. And there's another one right there. Forward. I hate it when that happens. I only unclipped once. I unclipped this one, then I was leaning this way.
Alright.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Shades. Yeah. So this is Henry Street that we just turned on through that busy intersection. So this is going to be interesting. I don't know if I'll leave that falling over at the intersection. I unclipped my left foot, went to put that down, but I leaned right. Couldn't snap my foot out quick enough. Fell over, had to look funny. I just found out that this is the hilly section for the next 8 miles or so. And I thought it was down in Mount Vernon. So, I guess I test my mettle right now instead of later in the day, which I guess is actually better of the 2 options. So, start climbing, drop gears like a bad habit, and spin to wind, see if I have to walk or not. Do not have to stop and walk. But at the top of that hill, these people are really nice. Got a little rest area set up. Are you gonna stop? All right, Henry Street and Wenger Street. Bicyclist rest area. That's pretty sweet. Ooh, is there pastries or something in there? Oh. Well, Larry, thank you for your hospitality. I'll probably gonna put this on the channel anyways, even though it's biking and not kayaking.
Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah.
On the How to Erie.
Water, Ohio.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You even have tent sites available?
We are Warm Shower Hose.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Warm Showers?
No,
Warm Showers is an international website
Yeah.
organization like Airbnb,
Yeah.
but it's strictly and only for touring cyclists
Oh, cool.
or hikers.
Yeah.
And so you can put the name of the town that you want to stay in
Uh-huh.
and see if there's any warm shower hosts
Oh, cool.
in that town.
Right.
And so it's catch as catch can. We are the only ones in Dalton.
Yeah.
But as a warm shower host, we are asked to provide at minimum a place to pitch a tent, access to a bathroom, and hence warm showers.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Awesome. Yeah.
So we just have a nice grassy area behind the house that we say is the most private
Right.
and most quiet place for pitch tents. Just had our 19th guest for the year.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
He's doing Chicago to Cleveland to St. Louis, kind of an odd trip.
Yeah.
But then we had a gal just last week that lives in Canada, Montreal, and she's going from Montreal to Durango, Mexico.
Wow.
Wow.
And so, yeah, she's got a little trip ahead of her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I bet we've had well over 200 people, just like you folks, who just stop
Yeah.
and rest a little bit and then keep moving on.
Right.
So I can
sign the guest book, grab a glass of water.
Right.
Right.
That's it.
All right, good meeting you.
Yeah, so you put this on your.
It'll be on Following Water, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, cool.
I'll look for it.
All right, talk to you. Thanks. Bye. I think I can coast up over that next hill. Lean back. Get some aerodynamics going on. Yep. Easy peasy. Some Amish kids playing baseball. Just gonna keep on coasting. I love the 3 miles. The only sad thing about it is, there's a hill to climb somewhere else. Oh man. I don't think I can make the next hill, but it's a possibility. How long can this go on? Only up to this stop sign. Oh, no. I don't know if the trail turns or not. Yeah, it keeps going. That was nice. So this is Bus Road. The road we just took ends into it, but there's no signage on which way to go. So we're gonna have to consult some electronic help. So on this side of the telephone pole, you don't see it when you come to the end of the road, but it's showing the trail going back up this way. So obviously, this may be the grand finale. Might be the end of my being able to not get off and walk. This hill is monstrous. So I'm going to try to stand for a while before I start spinning. Try to power up the first third of it or so and see how that works out. I have no idea how in the world that woman of mine just climbs hills. It's like, she's like 110 pounds. But she just smokes me. Oh well, give it the best of luck. So I did not make it. Stopped about 150 feet back. My plan of standing up, trying to power through a lot of it, and then drop down into spinning gears. Did not work. Probably should have just stayed with the spin to win mentality. Angie made it though. Drives me nuts. She just kicks my butt like that. So we stopped right here in Fredericksburg. Angie went back to go get the van. She's gonna do all the hills again. That's crazy. But the hard part of the day should be over, which is good because I'm only at like 28 miles or something like that. I got 68 to do, so that's another 40. And I think it's about 30 now, so I need to make some better time than I made on the hills. So nice to be back on a trail again and not on the road. Not to worry about traffic. Kind of nice looking forward, not seeing a hill coming out. It's probably the longest duration of semi-flat surface all day. The first couple of miles coming out of Fredericksburg, that entire trail needs to just get resurfaced. It was just patches upon patches upon patches. And you could see where they tapped in new, the asphalt and pack holes with. But the whole thing just needs to get redone, actually. This is a very, very nice surface, has been for miles. So I came up here to Pitmasters to get something to eat. And they've got stairs that are right down there off the trail. I think it would have been much easier to ride up the hill, come up to the road, and come in that way instead. But oh well. Okay, so that was Pitmaster. I got a grilled chicken sub, roast tomato, mayo, provolone, and I didn't know it came with fries. Felt bad for throwing those away, but cannot do doing any kind of exertion. Diet is completely different. Back on the trail now. And heading towards Killbuck. And I think Angie's gonna meet me down there. There's a little detour to go around that I think she's got a little shortcut to. So hopefully she gets there before I do. See what happens. There's a really beautiful stretch through here. Coming out of, what was that, Millersburg. Been this way for quite a while. Canopy closed over the top of the trail. Trees bending inward. Nice natural setting. Marsh right there even. I've been enjoying the Killbuck Creek. I run my right for quite a while. One summer I started that up in Medina County. In Burbank, actually, on New Year's Day. Dry seat. Close to flood stage. Not the smartest thing I've ever done. But piecemealed it that summer in spring all the way down till it joined up with the Walhanding. Beautiful river. Saw the most close-up wildlife I have ever experienced on some of the places where there are no kayak launches or anything like that. But for me, I mean, I would just come to a bridge like this and have Angie stop the truck so I could pull the kayak out, slide it down the hill and get in the water. So much of this OTET is right next to water. I don't think maybe a lot of the cyclists actually appreciate the magnificent adventure and beauty that's runs right along the path. So this is Killbuck. I just passed what used to be the old train depot. It's kind of sad that nobody thought it was worth putting any money into. It's just slowly deteriorating, but probably the original sign is still up on it. The slate roof is pretty much intact. And it's just a shame that I guess they don't think it's worth saving. This arrow says to the left. Alright, jumping away from the creek now. Oh, that detour is right here. And this gas station is actually where I called Angie to come pick me up when I finished my day's pedaling on the Killbuck Creek. I think total it was only like it was like 102 miles, but I would go and I'd paddle even if I only had 3 hours to paddle. I'd go jump on it just to get some water time in. I don't know if that was showing up or not, so lifted it up over that rail. I'm gonna have to change this battery too. Man, oh, it's beautiful. If I can't be in it, at least I can be close to it. So, waiting for a truck or something to get back. One of the workers was up by the bridge. We started talking about the Killbuck Creek right there. Talked about kayaking that. He's kayaked it also a little bit. And then we started talking about the Walhanding River. Then we started talking about Hellbenders, Curtis, and the Onion Bag litter prevention program, and it was like, you don't have to walk all the way around, you can make it through there. I'm not telling you that you can, but I'm not going to stop you either. So there's 2 detours that I didn't have to detour for. That's a pretty good day. So I think this road used to be a pretty good structural trail coming out of Killbuck. But I think they cut off maybe, I don't know, 3 to 5 miles of that trail, or of that road pedaling, and they've cut in a connecting trail that will be off on the left a couple miles ahead. I think this is still like a 2 to 3 mile road stretch, but then you're back on the trail. So that hill coming up is no joke. It's a long one, kind of deceptive. Now I get rewarded with the downhill coast. Here is the sign that says one comes this way. Yay! So I've never done the rest of that stretch, so I don't know how the mileage was that they cut off. But any road mileage that you can be away from and be on the trail, that's good mileage. Holy mackerel, as soon as I turned onto this, just caught a headwind smashing into me. Must be coming down between the hills or something. But the pavement is perfectly smooth, so a little bit of a trade-off. So this new section of the trail wraps around some farmers' fields. There's like gravel, 12-foot wide gravel areas where it crosses over the trail that the tractors can drive on. Right here, it wraps around what looks like a quarry, sorting different rocks and such. Quick shot, whee! I didn't feel like stopping. But man, this must have cost a fortune, even after they got the land, because there's so much of these wood side rails all the way down this trail. I can't even imagine what it cost. Really a nice section here after the old or the new trail connection finished, tied back into the old trail. Really nice through here. And there's a big controversy around e-bikes and pedal assist bikes and like what should be on the trail, what shouldn't be on the trail. But I've noticed so many people that are a little older that may not be able to do as much of the trail in a day if they didn't have that assist. So I'm starting to see it in a different light. I've also been passed by straight up e-bikes doing 25 or more miles an hour. I don't know how I feel about that. Some of them were Amish, so okay, I get that. But I'm just glad people are outside. And if the older people are outside, it means that they can set aside funds, make donations to take care of the things that they're enjoying. So I did see a gasoline powered three-wheeler with a license plate on the path that flew by me. Had to be doing 35. I think that's probably definitely draw the line a little bit before that. Just random thought. I don't know if I said this already, but ever since I got onto this old trail from the new addition down there where I crossed the road, I've been going uphill for miles, like constantly, just uphill, gradual but consistent. Every time you think you get to a little ridge, turns a bend, climbs up some more. Looks like the one coming up here. I think I'm going to go onto Google Earth, pull this up, use the measuring feature and track this path from that intersection to, I don't know, someday when it finally starts going downhill again. I'm really curious on what that distance is. So this is Battle Pass, little pavilion here. Finally reached the top. At the very end, the last bit changed from just constant gradual. Increase the grade significantly. I don't know where I'm supposed to go here now, so I'm gonna have to. Oh, it's right across the street from me. All I gotta do is open my eyes. Whee. Yes, downhill. So this is at the parking lot for the Bridge of Dreams, and I'm about 61 miles in, so I think another 7 miles or so is where I'll be staying. Mount Vernon, Comfort Inn, I think. But we actually did a river cleanup, so this must be the Mohican, because we started at the Bridge of Dreams and floated south. So that'll be cool. Really beautiful down here. Looking forward to it. This is the Bridge of Dreams. And I guess the backstory is that they said it was a pipe dream for them to ever raise enough money to build this bridge. And they did. So this is the Mohican River. Another river on my list to float someday. So many different forks of it though. Don't know where I'll start. Maybe I'll make a connection out of that one also. So this has been the Holmes County Trail for a long time. I don't know if the Cocosing Gap Trail is part of this OTET. The good thing about it is that there's a number 1 on all the signs, so that even if it's a different trail, the number 1 designation lets you know you're still heading in the right direction. About 65 miles in, and I don't know, I thought the mileage said 68, but I just looked at the distance on the map. It seems like a little bit more than it would be. A little bit more than 5 miles. So who knows? But it's so early in the day that I've got plenty of time just to lollygag, take my time, enjoy the scenery. Yeah, so it just passed a sign that said, "Welcome to the Cocosing Gap Trail." It had a number 1 on it. And I'll tell you what, the Cocosing River, the group that organizes so many river cleanups, friends in the Cocosing, it's like a stone that was thrown into a pond that has rippled even all the way up towards Lake Erie. I mean, just doing amazing things. You have to check them out. Definitely use your support on some river cleanups, I'm sure. So we just dawned on me, my day is going to be around 10 miles longer than I originally thought, because originally I was going to cycle to like 9 miles past Massena, and then have the van there and drive back to the hotel. But I just stopped right there in Massena. Didn't do those 9 or so miles, so that'll be added to today's route. So today's route will probably be, I don't know, 75 to 78, maybe somewhere in there. But staying in the Comfort Inn in Mount Vernon. So you'll remember earlier I was talking about all the good that that group of volunteers is doing, the Friends of the Kokosing River, about the pebble they threw in the pond that's spreading out. Step by step with them is the Knox County Park District, the Hellbender Preserve, Riparian Preserve. I guess you wouldn't know just how enormous that statement is right now, to have hellbenders in these waters right here. But do a little research, you'll see that you'll see just what an accomplishment it is. Down here also is Curtis Castro, who does a lot with the onion bag litter prevention. Probably has over 200 boxes now along rivers in the state of Ohio. I've put a couple up for him in Medina, but you're gonna have dinner with him tonight, catch up in Mount Vernon, and see how everything went this summer. Did not get a chance to hook up with them for a river cleanup this year. Too much stuff going up north happening every weekend. So this is the Kokosing, potato. It's on my short list of rivers to do very soon. I just finished that Killbuck Creek Black River mid-east connection, and I think this might be the next one I come down to. You got to catch it when there's water, not too much, not too little, but I think it's only 26 miles long, so I'd be able to do it in a single day. Of course, that would be before the daylight changed. Who knows? Curtis might be able to set me up with somebody where they'd let me hang the hammock up in their backyard on the river. Not really sure. Definitely worth checking into though. Cannot wait to float it though. So here's a little pull off, little viewing area at mile marker 8 on the Kokosing Gap Trail. And can you see? Yeah, probably not, but this water is so clear. The quality is so good. I think it's fortunate that it's before the Mohican River comes down. They've done a lot with that river, but there's still a great deal more to do. There could be a hellbender under one of those rocks out there right now. That is pretty amazing. So one thing I've noticed that I very much miss are the bends in the river. I can look ahead right now, so far in the distance. It almost gets boring if I don't look to the right or the left. Keep my eyes on the nature and the natural settings. So I will have to check with Angie, but I'm pretty sure this is a place where I laid down, and Angie will tell you passed out in the grass. I just closed my eyes for a minute. It's when we did, like, I was going to do a century ride with her after not being on the bike at all. And this was our turnaround point. Because there was no water here. The water was already shut off. So we were almost out of water, but we had passed another place that had water back the trail a ways. So we went back there. I ended up doing 97 miles. So I got a little more than 2 miles left of the purposing. Yeah, the trail. Might do that in a paddleboard too. Just sit, enjoy the float. Watch the bottom of the riverbed. Yeah, 2 miles left. Here's one of Curtis's handiwork. Onion bag box that you can grab. Pick up some trash. Take it back and empty it. You can put it back in that box, or you can just keep it for the next piece of river that you paddle. And here we are at the Comfort Inn. See what Rowdy says about our time and distance. Oh man, that maple. It's a beautiful red. Let's see. Rowdy says 80.8 miles, 9 hours, 35 minutes. So I'm gonna stop that. I'm gonna check in, get a hold of Curtis, and get something to eat. So I am leaving the Comfort Inn. It wasn't the Hampton Inn, but the Hampton Inn isn't the Drury Inn either. But it was clean, quiet for the most part. Today's the easiest of all the days. Only 49 miles going down to Columbus. I let Angie plan this route because I tend to be a little over ambitious. And there's no way out of this way. I gotta go back around and go out to the sidewalk. So the first day was 70, yesterday was 80, today will only be 49 or 50. Stopping in Columbus. So she knew what she was doing. She reminded me that the only time I've ridden this bike this year was with her when I did a 30-mile ride over to one of the parks. So, yeah, not really in shape for it all. But it's working so far. Get back on the trail, head south, take my time. Plenty of time to recoup, and I will see her again down in Xenia on Thursday. Got a camp spot down there. We're both gonna ride the last I don't know what it is, 50 or 60 miles of it. Back over the Cocosin. Look at that beautiful river. That's a good way to start a day now. So, I forgot to mention, the Cocosin Gap Trail ended, and the trail began that I took to the Comfort Inn that I'm on right now. It's called the Heart of Ohio Trail. So, I don't know how long it's called the Heart of Ohio Trail, but there should always be a number 1 on there, so you know you're doing the same trail. It'll be interesting when I get down to Columbus to be able to follow the trail. Hopefully it's well marked. It's been a pretty stretch so far. It's like the first mile or two. But like a lot of the other pieces of the trail, the tree canopy covers the top. Kind of makes it into a little green corridor. Makes it a little better when there's vegetation right on the side. It's not as depressing. It's just a long, straight asphalt path with no visual stimulation, no sounds of birds or chipmunks or what have you. So it's nice when the natural setting is right up on the trail. I just ran alongside a nice babbling brook, kind of small stream, really shallow. Didn't look like you could put a boat on it, definitely not. But came right up against this trail. Might have just been a dry section though, because I'm looking out over the right. Used to be a little bit more water now. I don't know what piece of river it is, but I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if it was like the very start of what comes into the Cocosin. I don't know. I have to do some research. Here's a piece of the water that I was talking about. So crystal clear. Lift the bike up, get a better view. Oh, big old school of fish. I knew I saw something moving down there. They blend in so well with the water. It's a good thing to see. I have been fighting very much to not get sidetracked too much by water, because I want to go down to the water at every single place I pass over it. Just see what it's like. So mile marker 11 on the whatever this trail was called, I already forgot it. But runs right along a road for quite a while, but looks like it ducked back into the woods back here. But still a lot better than actually riding up on the road. A little bit chillier this morning too than yesterday. I thought it would have been the opposite, being farther south, but still not too bad. Probably still like the 40s. And we got water on the left side now. So I don't know if that shows up or not. That little tiny dot of light. I'm guessing it has to be, I don't know, 2.5, 3 miles maybe. Nah, I bet you my perception is off. But that's been a lot of this. Just a straight line, which I get it. Shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, but it'd be nice if it had more bends and such. Oh, and that's a bicyclist. He's got his light on. It's not even light at the end of the tunnel. So this is the highest point on the Heart of Ohio Trail. I'm thinking this might be the highest point on the whole Ohio to Erie Trail. I'm not really sure. But if it is, I'm good with that. Give me downhill from now on. I'm sure there'll be ups and downs though. Like there always is, just like in life. Heart of Ohio Trail. Midpoint. Good. They have a bunch of things here too where a little bike repair station. Little bike repair station, and then could drop in a donation or something. Yeah, donation supports the maintenance of the improvements of the trail, and they even have some signs that with a QR code that you can scan. So hey, I'm halfway there. Good. So I'm not sure why there was a countdown of mileage that I just passed right at a little pavilion rest area trailhead kind of thing. But when I left the hotel, the first marker I noticed was a 15, and then it counted all the way down, and I'm assuming that it ended right there at that trailhead by the road. So I'm not sure if that little strip had a different designation than the Ohio Trail. I should probably check that though, because I gotta make sure I'm still on the right trail. I don't want to get too many miles in if I'm not, but I think it would be incredibly silly if this wasn't still a trail. Okay, so I just checked. This is the trail. I had very little doubt it would be. I mean, it's directly across the road from the one I was riding. But there was a sign, a white sign there, and I rode past it. There was no lettering on it. But then I came further down the trail. I thought I saw something up ahead on the trail. Thought it was a turkey. I see these tail lights of a truck up ahead. So as I get closer, there's a pickup truck, and the guy behind him's got a torch and a little kettle, and he's filling in black cracks in the asphalt, filling those in with tar. And when I pulled up the map, it said that this trail would be closed on the 15th, which is today, for trail maintenance. And they must have just not turned the sign around in the correct way, because anyone coming that direction just sees a blank white sign. The lettering must have been on the backside. So this is a pretty little piece. Nice view on this lookout, about 22 miles in from the Comfort Inn where I stayed. Love moving water. I love it. Almost a 22.8, I think. So close to halfway done through the day. So I just saw a sign that said the Sandell Legacy Trail. Went through a little blip of a city. Not even sure what it was. Just off the trail, down a side street, took a turn onto this trail. I tell you what though, it is up in the air. It's probably a 30-foot drop on each side of this. I can't believe how much that water swells. And look at that floodplain on each side. That's interesting. So I'm guessing this trail is going to hug close to the reservoir. So somebody came walking by while I was taking pictures and stuff, and they were saying that this is actually the Little Walnut that feeds into, well, when the Hoover Dam was created, the Hoover Reservoir backed the water up where it floods out into all this area. But down here, I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can see it. There's a pump station, brick pump station that's down there. That used to pull water up out of the creek. And up here on the left, there's an old place where there used to be a water tower for the railroad. And then this trail turns. You could see where the old railroad tracks would continue on. Pretty interesting. Pretty setting. A little more water, I'd float that. My kind of setting. So I just saw a sign that said Thomas Hooper Legacy Trail. Maybe it was Hoover and I misread it. But there was a couple of trails, so maybe the other one was the trail that cut off to the right when I went back behind some development. What's up, buddy? What's up, kid? Yeah, I should probably move along. Sorry to disturb you. Can't believe that. They're just standing there watching me. So this is alternate 50. Part of the Erie Trail. Western. Missed a sign or a turn somewhere. Headed to pull up on Google Maps, find out where I was, type in Ohio Trail near me, and only like a quarter mile away, but there was somewhere where it just wasn't very clear, or I wasn't paying attention, one or the other. But it seems pretty marked now. I had to right up and cross a bridge. Picked up the trail again, so I don't know where I turned off of it, but might have been a mile through the city streets that I could have been on the trail. So if that's the worst that happens today, I guess it'll be a good day. It's a nice sign right there. You are here. Cross the street. Cross the other street. Take the street that angles off from the right. Nice clear direction. It's much appreciated. So I guess I have officially entered Columbus. Pedaling past alongside Allen right now. Looks like it's reducing the tension. Still moving water though. So nice to be out of the city setting again. This is the Alum Creek. I'm going to follow this for quite a while till I kick over into the center of Columbus, I think. But just a pretty setting. Makes you want to go down there and just set up some chairs and have something to eat, a cup of coffee, and listen to the sound of the water and the birds and what have you. But I don't have a chair and I don't have any coffee, so I guess I'll keep pedaling. I really like this Alum Creek trail so far. Very nice. Jumped away from the hustle and bustle. The pavement's been good. Canopy is nice. I got no complaints. There's Alum Creek again. I don't think that caught on there. Erase that. This is still running by the Alum Creek. It's a little farther over to the left now. Nice boardwalk though through this swampy area. Well, I am so glad that I came back to see this sign. Edward Franklin Hunton passed away in 2005, but actually brought the Ohio to Erie Trail to life. He launched the Great Ohio Bicycle Adventure, a week-long tour, attracting thousands of riders from many states and countries to bicycle and camp in Ohio. The Ohio to Erie Trail was his dream. His enthusiasm was boundless. His efforts on its behalf unstinting. We share Ed's dream and invite you to join us by enjoying the trail and helping support it. That's pretty awesome. Probably didn't think that it would come to fruition either. But if somebody can put a legal bicycling path together through Ohio, bring all different entities and cities and everybody else into some kind of working relationship, maybe I can do the same with the rivers. So crossing over Alum Creek once again. The trail crosses back and forth over it, so you get to see it even from a directly above it viewpoint, along with the side view when it's in view from riding parallel to it. Like any river though, it twists and turns, comes and goes. Just so hard to pass up water. Not stop and check it out. See what I might be able to see. I think I'm only like 6 minutes from the hotel. I gotta find out how to get to the hotel from the trail though. What is going on down here? I hear like a metal peg getting staked in. I can see a bucket down there and a box of something, a tire in the river. There's a trail parked by the other bridge. Just wondering if it's not something to do with the water shed department / park systems / whatever bureau is involved with things like that. Hey, there we go. So, got about 19 minutes to the hotel. A little noisy right now, running right next to the highway. But that Alum Creek Trail has a nice piece of path. There's the Columbus skyline off in the distance. I gotta cross this street and then keep heading south. So, at the Drury tonight. I love these hotels. It was actually free from the miles I've accumulated from staying at Drury's whenever I can. I usually do. So that was the route, Mount Vernon to Columbus. It was only 51.2 miles, 6 hours, and it is only 3:20 right now. So I'm gonna get me a steak, some mashed potatoes, and relax. So I just left the Drury Inn. Riding with GPS. Eee, good timing. Yeah. Man, I wish that I would have known these maps were this detailed. I would have used them in Westerville. I got turned around once or twice. But a little bit chillier this morning. About 8:30. Probably lower 40s. So this is the Scioto River. I remember coming through this very piece of water right over here. Close to the same levels maybe, because that way was the easiest flow around it. A little bit of a Columbus skyline in the background. A lot of good memories on this river. Get to hug it for a while as the trail follows it. Morning. Morning. It'll get nicer once I get out of Columbus. It's so funny coming to all these places, bringing back all those memories. I remember going around this dam right here. Must have been a little bit higher though, because the water was coming over those steps pretty good. I went over to those banks on that side, came up the gradual slope, pulled the kayaks over to that concrete platform, came down here into the rocks, and put back in. Beautiful morning. Beautiful morning to be paddling or pedaling either on or next to moving water. So in a way, I guess even though I'm biking, I'm still following water. Just following the water down to the Ohio River. Columbus is marked really well. I thought it'd be a lot more difficult, but the trail runs right past that brewery and wonderful hotel. I went to an Italian restaurant. It's like a third of a mile from there, called Buca's. And oh my gosh, I didn't know it was family size entrees. I literally got a pound of meatballs and probably 3 pounds of spaghetti, 2 little mini loaves of bread. I attacked that thing 3 times from the time I was there and ate, took it back to the room, ate again, ate before I went to bed, and I still could not put it away. They said it feeds 3 people, but I don't know, maybe 3 through hikers on the Appalachian Trail that are consuming 6,000 calories a day or something, because it was a massive amount of food, but really good food too. Highly recommend it. Well, this is pretty interesting. This is the Scioto River still, but not sure exactly what's going on here. This isn't the construction that I went past 2 years ago when I took the Scioto down to the Ohio River. This is in a different area, so not sure exactly what's going on. Hopefully the mesh doesn't mess up that picture too bad. You can see what I'm talking about. I tell you what, I have come to appreciate bike lanes since using them. I live in a rural area, so there are no bike lanes. You kind of just have to stay over the edge of the road and hope nobody's texting. Bike lanes are a pretty sweet way to go. So I'm on Camp Chase Trail right now, running along some railroad tracks. Right by an intersection is where it starts. So I was turning off the navigation out of Columbus, and these horns are so loud, like to pop my eardrums. Being 15 feet away from it. So should be quite a ways of not needing any navigation, because this trail runs for quite a long time, and hopefully it gets into some better settings. Probably homeless, or I guess the term now is unhoused. I don't know. Problematic and sad either way. 90% self-inflicted, though, I would imagine. Right behind you. Wilson Road Park right here on the Camp Chase Trail. It's got a couple homeless camps in it. You just saw a whole bunch of people, different locations, coming out from little trails in the woods. There's trash everywhere. So I guess it's not limited to just seeing them on the river. I usually see them up under bridges and along the river. I actually saw quite a few on the Scioto also. But I guess it's trails and parks also. Big Darby, 8 miles. Cincinnati, 115. So when I said out of Columbus, when I jumped on this trail, I meant off the streets. This is probably still the city of Columbus. Don't know how long it's going to run through this industrial field, but definitely a different scenery. It's kind of like being on the river, and you come down from like Griggs Dam, eventually get to the skyline of the city. You're looking up at skyscrapers while you're floating a river. That was a very odd feeling for me. This kind of goes back and forth with that also. When you come out of a long stretch of being in like an emerald tunnel, green tunnel, with all the trees over the trail and everything, and you get into this kind of setting. It's got a different vibe to it, obviously. But I guess you got to take the good with the bad when you're biking, just like you are when you're kayaking. So nice to be back on a trail setting. Probably 50% of the intersections I just went through, I waited for the walk sign in the crosswalk, and more than half the people never even looked, just turned right. If I wouldn't have stopped, there would have been a collision. Yesterday in Columbus, I had a whole bunch more. Same way, nobody looks, they just turn right. Morning.
How you doing?
Good. So, very happy to be on the trail. I had some guy one time came up to a T intersection. He was coming into the road I was cycling. He looked right at me and then just rolled right through the stop sign and plowed into me. So, I'm not a big fan of being on the road. Very much liking these bike trails. So I passed a little piece of water called Hill Branch Run. Wasn't moving, kind of stagnant. Wasn't really that nice looking, so taking footage of it. But I wanted to make sure it wasn't the Derby that is coming up sometime soon, right in this area. And I would have been shocked if that was it. The Derby, I think, is a pretty nice piece of water. There should be right around this area. I don't like to live on the map when I'm riding or paddling. I just take it as it comes. Check it once in a while if something strikes me. I like to see a little piece of water I'm going over for the most part. Or what water is coming into the river that I'm paddling. Here we go. So I just came down a really nice long stretch of downhill, and it met right here. Beautiful little city or setting. So this is the confluence of the Little Derby and the Big Derby. If you look upstream, you see the merging of the Big and the Little Derby. I'm going to enjoy this piece of trail, I can tell already. So I had to come up and away from the primitive gravel setting, but I tell you what, that'd be a nice trail to do down there, right along the Derby, and just a nice serene setting. But I'm back onto the bigger picture, which is the route down to Xenia for the night. Might pass Xenia a little bit, but I don't know, 60-70 mile day probably. I just entered Madison County. I think London is about 10 miles from here. I think they have a bike shop there and all the amenities you might need. So I'll probably stop there, see if they have a cup of coffee maybe. Go with the Mounds Bar and the Kind Bar. I think that's what I'm going to do today. Morning. Any kind of sports nutritional goo just doesn't work for me. It gives me heartburn. Come on, please, go. Thank you. Nice sunny day. So here's a little bike fixing pavilion. Sit, have something to eat. Who knows? Change the tire. Seems like it's just in the middle of nowhere. Camp Chase Trail Industrial Railway. Huh. Wish I had a water spigot. So I quit lifting the bike up. I just loosened up the clamp for that headlight on the front, so now I can unscrew it from the mount. This is, what was it? Glade Run. Nice little piece of water. Be fun to float down sometime. I love it when things are that closed in on the river. You see some amazing wildlife. I imagine this is considered a creek, but it is right before London Lockbourne Road. This piece of water here is Deer Creek, connected to Madison Lake. Not too much south of that last piece of water that I just passed. It's right by a wildlife area too, which I bet you there's a lot of good birding here. Vegetation's really thick. Let's see what Rowdy says as far as mileage. 23.7. 2 hours 38 minutes. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of stopping. Can't pass up water though. This path approaching London has been right up there with some of the best, smoothest pavement that I've come across yet. I don't know how recently it was redone, but not too recently because there's still grass growing up through some of the cracks, but really smooth, well maintained. Looking forward to getting to London, taking a break, filling up my water bottles, and grabbing a snack. So this here is London. I think I have to get up around the other side to see any of the stores or anything, and I think I'll bypass the fountain right now. Might check my air pressure though, tires. This detour I will not be able to get around. Let's see, they've got everything tore up down the trail there, and the entire width of the trail blocked off. So detour says this way. You know what? I don't want to go that way. There is a big accident. That's like the fourth vehicle that's gone that way. Well, this is a cool little place here. South Charleston. I don't know if that's the name of the city or what have you, but maybe. Nice cabin here. That's an interesting notch set up on there. Plaster. Nice. Log cabin circa 1820. It was built at the intersections of Route 41 and 42 in 1870. It was moved to Willow Street. John Edward Motes purchased the structure in 1943. His son Lawrence and wife Linda donated it to the Heritage Commission in 2001, and it was moved to this location. I love that, man. I love when people take care of history. Oh, yeah. Really nice facelift on this side. Don't know if that's because that was the weathered side or because, yeah, the way the notches are done on the corner promotes a lot of rot. That's why I did it slightly different on mine. But love seeing old buildings and old train depots. It's just something about it, just the history of it all. Be an awesome setting for a murder mystery weekend. So I don't know what city this is, but I'm about to jump onto Prairie Grass Trail again. Here is the view of the other side of the cabin. I'm actually on the trail right now. There's restrooms and such on this side. The tin roof, obviously, it would have been wooden shake when it was originally built. So right here, if you didn't know any better, you would go right across this. This is actually the Little Miami River. A tiny, tiny start. This river is designated a national scenic river. It has such beautiful stretches. Just one of the things on the trail, you could just fly right by it, never even see it. It's little pieces of water like this that join up with others that form big, beautiful rivers. You could see wildlife moving down in there, in the water. I don't know if you consider it wildlife, but beautiful, peaceful setting. There's a different world right there happening right underneath the surface of the water, at the edge of the water, in connection with the water. But I am pedaling today and not paddling, so I will move on. Everything's so low. It's at like a complete standstill, pretty much. So this has been a long stretch since that I crossed the Little Miami. Just a long, straight trail. Crossed a few roads, but just following some electric poles right now, and it looks like I will be for quite a ways. So missing the water connection, but beats pedaling through the city, I guess. Still lots of greenery. Be really pretty maybe in 3 weeks or so when all the leaves are turning. I imagine it would be really spectacular. It's October 15th right now. Just entered the city of Cedarville. A little bit change of scenery now. The telephone poles are on my left side, on the right side. Corner looks kind of the same. It has been absolutely flat road. So you gotta take the good with the bad, I guess. And perhaps we'll get back into some nice trail vegetation on both sides. So I just got to a sign that said, "Welcome to Xenia." Trail is very pretty. I'm hoping that this comes across somewhere where I can grab something to eat and some water. Didn't really check the map. Got water for another hour or two maybe. And I've got snacks if I have to eat those. But it'd be nice to find a little, even just a gas station. I will see how it goes for the next hour maybe. actually supposed to be stopping somewhere here in Xenia. We switched it from a campground to a hotel because Angie said it was going to be too cold. She didn't want to camp in the van. So, we're going to make some reservations. At there's a hotel somewhere. Xenia, April, I don't know. But I'll probably just rack up some more miles and have her pick me up there. She's spending the night with me. And then she's going to pedal with me in the morning. Turn around and go back and get the van after a little bit. And then I'm going to park in Cincinnati and come up and meet me for the last 20 miles or whatever. So hopefully there's a gas station or something. I should just stop and look on the map, but just too lazy. So I just talked to Ange. She's on her way down. She's going to be here an hour and a half, 2 hours. I was going to low by Xenia. I smashed a couple mountain bars, refilled my bottles. I was going to do 80 miles today instead of 60, but she wants me just to go to the hotel and get things checked in, and then finish the 60 miles tomorrow. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, take care. And here we are at the Hampton. 61 miles exactly. 61 miles, 6 hours, 27 minutes, talking to myself. Come on, come on, go. So, at the Hampton Inn, it's about exactly 61 miles. Time frame was, I don't know, 6 hours, 28 minutes total. I would have much rather knocked off another 20 or more miles today, but I think Angie didn't want me to, just so she has more miles to ride with me tomorrow. So finish it off with 60 tomorrow, and it will be complete. Angela spared no expense. Nice place. Very nice. Oh, I love this block. I got it plugged into a USB port, so it's charging the block while it's simultaneously charging the iPhone. And it's got all the other accessories on there that you can charge whatever it is, the GoPro, the little pump that I use to inflate my raft. So I'm gonna get it cleaned up, get unpacked, and wait for Ange to get here and go grab some dinner. So this is Xenia Park, where I stopped yesterday, and rode over to the hotel. Angie came down last night, picked me up, or met me over at the hotel, and she's gonna ride about 15 miles, come back here, get the van, go down to the river, park, and then head north to come back up and meet me and finish the trail together. It is a brisk 41 this morning. A little bit chillier than the other mornings, so it'll be nice to get going and get some body heat generated. Good breakfast this morning. Fueled up, ready to go. Last 60 miles. Here we go. So this is a really nice piece of trail. A little chilly though. I need like mittens on my hands or something. My fingers are cold. I don't have a windbreaker. Got a little fleece jacket, but it's not stopping the wind at all. Pretty setting though. Be nice to get to some water. This is Spring Valley now. The sun has finally come up over the trees. So nice. Stopped and stood in the sun on the trail for a minute, back a little bit, like a meerkat, soak in some warmth, thawed off my fingers. And now the world's a better place. So if you remember that little bitty piece of water that you would have ridden right past without ever thinking twice about, barely even knowing it was there, that was the Little Miami up there. This is the Little Miami here. You can see it's already growing into a good sized river. It has National Scenic Designation, which tells you just how beautiful of a river that is. It's on my short list, along with the Kokosing and a couple others, to float down, because I definitely want to take a look at it. So I can't help it. I have to go down close to the river. Oh, really, there's no way I can though. I can't go through all this mud right here with my shoes on. Oh, I wish I could though. It's beautiful. I can't wait to be paddling right past this very spot. Looking forward to biking alongside it for quite a while. Hundreds of red-winged blackbirds. Got a real pretty song to them. Real pretty trail. About 12 miles from Xenia right now. It's been beautiful the entire way. So 13 miles from Xenia Station. And I know that because from Xenia Station, they actually have the mileage stenciled on the path in half-mile increments. Because at Xenia Station there's a map that tells you different attractions along different mile markers. Oh wow, look at that. Let me see if I can pull over and get a shot of that. That's a Little Miami. Little spill right there. Coming over that dam. Not a killing machine though, that's good. Just love the sound of moving water. I cannot wait to get on that river. More of the Little Miami. Just beautiful. Wish I could just finish this trail today, biking, and then go down and go up north and get my kayak and start floating that river. So I flew by here. This is a little bit more than 18 miles from Xenia Station. And I saw this grass down to the river, turned around, and came back to find private property signs, which I will not trespass. But I was just thinking this would be such a perfect place for a livery, either to put in or to take out. Just passing Little Miami. Oh man, beautiful piece of water I can see down through there. That's about 21 miles or so from Fort Ancient and Morgan's canoe livery, it looks like, if I caught the sign right. Sun is finally up, it's finally warm, my fingers aren't frozen anymore. Which is a very nice thing. Haven't seen anywhere for a spot of coffee and a donut or pastry yet, but I don't know, man, 22 and a half, 23, somewhere in there, away from Xenia Station, so should be something within the next hour where I can stop and refresh myself. So anyways, it's beautiful still, this entire path. And what do we have here? About 27 and a half miles in. A little Sunoco. I bet you they have coffee. Little Miami Canoe Trips is right over there. Another livery. I think I'm going to get me a cup of coffee and a couple of donuts. So, very disappointing stop. I thought I'd get a nice cup of watered down coffee so it's not too hot. Drink it real quick. Maybe a cinnamon roll or something. But they had a cappuccino machine. I asked if there's any regular coffee. She said no, that was done for the day because it is past 'It's like 10 to 11, so 10:50. And I figured, maybe I'll just get a cold, like a bottle of Frappuccino or something. But then I looked around, there was no kind of pastries or anything, you know, just like the pre-wrapped little nips kind of stuff. Very disappointing. But, I mean, typical gas station. I was just hoping for more. I don't know. Little Miami. Just passing by the windows. I love old train depots. Takes me back, wondering what it was like way back when. So I guess I'm just going to keep pedaling. Alas, so I'm about 32 and a half miles out from Xenia Station right now. Beautiful views of Little Miami. Just picturesque. Long, gradual uphill. But the views of the river make it a lot more pleasant. So this is right on the Little Miami River. Whiskey Bar and Grill. I'm going to get a chicken quesadilla and soup of the day, which is some kind of sausage. 39.5 miles in, a little over 3.5 hours. Over halfway there. So I guess that wasn't the whiskey bar, that was the monkey bar. Monkey bar and grill. Quesadilla was good. That sausage soup of the day was really good. Had iced tea with it. If I was going to do a 100-mile on this stretch, it would have been yesterday. That's the one that would have made sense. Around 12:30 now. So, long drive back to the house after I finish. I think I forgot to mention the City of Loveland. Beautiful little place. I wish I could have turned the camera on and did a drive-by. Actually spent some time there, like the little Miami Conservancy and stuff. But I broke the mount for my GoPro, so it's not staying up on its own right now. So now you can see the size of the little Miami. Just a beautiful piece of water. I wish this mount bracket wouldn't have broke. I had to put a lot more film on this river. I don't know if it'll show up on the camera, but you could see clear down to the bottom. Love the sound of moving water. Just makes you want to get into a kayak and just follow it. What a concept. Following water. So I checked in with Ange, and she never rode back to meet me. I was checking in with her. She's at the Purple Bridge, which is right at the river, I think. But probably like 5 miles from there. Maybe 5 miles as the bird flies, I don't know. But I'm only at like 63, 64 miles for the day. So if it's another 5 or 6 miles, right around a 70. Little airport right here. This is a little piece, it's like one of those things you gotta go north to go south. Kinda, if you were just thinking logically, wouldn't make sense. But you gotta kinda come up and around before you drop down. There it is, the big beautiful Ohio. It's where I always look to be at the end of a connection. This will be the first time it'll be the end of a connection with a bicycle. Very close. So the picture that Angie took, I will insert, was taken from right up there on the Purple Bridge, I guess, next to this statue of Lucius Quintus Cincinnatus. Complete. 326 in the books. First connection by bicycle.
Well done. Congratulations, love.
Peace, love, joy.